I am excited to have a few minutes today with David Chadwick, who is the Strategic Growth Manager at AFCO Direct for PayMyPremiums. David, in the pre-call, you mentioned that you go by Chatters, and I think that's a nickname that I've never heard before. So, Chatters, where did Chatters come from?
Hello, Casey. Thanks for having me on the call today. Chatters comes from my time in the London market, where I worked for Aon's Premium Finance Group for a while and was also a Lloyd's broker and a property underwriter. Everyone in the UK has to have a nickname. And so Chatters was the one that was bestowed upon me. So, that's me. And I think folks know me as that here as well. It's carried over the Atlantic. So, yeah, Chatters it is.
Well, I love it. It sets a very friendly tone right off the bat. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your partnership with Catalyit. We really appreciate what you do for agents, and I love being able to talk about it when we do have consulting calls that agencies may benefit from what you do. So I think the next best direction to go to is what inspired the creation of Pay My Premiums. I mean, there's gaps all over in the insurance industry and the processes or lack of processes that agencies might have. How did the idea for Pay My Premiums come about?
So I think really was born out of the pandemic. During the COVID time, we had a lot of agencies reaching out, seeking digital payment solutions for their clients because they couldn't interact with them on a face-to-face basis. And so Pay My Premiums kind of was born from that. And really it was one of those moments in time as well. AFCO Direct at the time was looking to reestablish itself as a billing and collection solution provider rather than a traditional premium finance company. And I think that's something that we've certainly achieved as we've moved forward and developed products such as Pay My Premiums. And as I look back at how far AFCO Direct has come, certainly, in those last 5 years, I think we've traveled a huge distance with the technology and the services we provide compared to where we were previously. From something horrible, something very good has come out of it.
The amount of innovation that occurred during that window of time is already changing so much for agencies and life in general. Speaking of what you offer, Pay My Premium does have the ability to have both paid in full and financing options every time an agency has an invoice for a customer. Has this changed the way agencies are operating in your experience working with them directly? Like having both options available so quickly, is that changing the way they operate?
Oh, very much so. If you think about it from the client perspective, it's really removing the onus on the insured to request the quote. And there's instances where insureds might not want to do that. They might think that it's a convoluted, difficult process to go for a premium finance application, which it absolutely isn't. It's probably one of the easiest ways to access capital. They might think it conveys some sort of opinion on them, that they're not particularly creditworthy. Again, it's a bit of a misnomer because we have a lot of cash-rich, cash-savvy clients that use premium finance as a cash flow tool. It kind of removes some of those reticences from the insured, which I think is nice. I think it also removes the agent from the process, which in the nicest possible way is a good thing because then they haven't got to then worry, does the insured want to see it or not? And by giving the insured the option, they're empowering the client to make that decision. So if we look at a traditional premium finance penetration of an agent's portfolio, it's about 10 to 15% if we're being generous. But once you actually empower the insured to make that decision themselves, whether they want to pay in full and opt for the premium financing, that penetration rate goes up from somewhere between 40 to 60%, depending on the agency and their portfolios. It's really helping move the needle by putting the power back towards the insured and making them more comfortable making those purchasing decisions.
Mm-hmm. You just mentioned a couple of those numbers that were also on your website that I wanted to ask about. So is it real? So 60% of invoices are paid within 24 hours. Also, 46% of clients opt for financing. Having that data is great. An agency may not need to necessarily pivot, but what does that tell you about what the market needs and what business owners prefer? Does that give us insight we can use in an actionable way?
Definitely. In fact, our take-up rate is actually up over 60%, which is really telling us that almost two-thirds of clients want premium finance versus pay in full. So I think that says a lot about cash flow and how, insureds want to operate their businesses more smartly and maybe some of the topical pressures they find themselves under. And obviously that's good news. If you've got two-thirds of clients premium financing from an agency perspective, that's more premium finance penetration, which means more revenue hitting their bottom line. Virtually all of our agency partners have some sort of revenue share component to their partnership with AFCO. Insureds really want quick and easy payment options. We see that in virtually all aspects of our lives with, like our purchase, when we're purchasing goods and services, everyone wants a really easy checkout experience. And that's something that Pay My Premiums gives. We've got agencies always looking to achieve efficiencies and economies. And what's really nice about Pay My Premiums is that it's essentially a bolt-on to our existing quoting software. We effectively are providing a white labeled payment portal for the insured. All we need is their logo, and then we create this payment portal that's got the same agency touch and feel. So, when a client's interacting with an agent, they click on the link, and whilst really they're going through the AFCO Direct site for Pay My Premiums, essentially it looks as if they're still transacting with the agency. It's free. It's all part of the service and systems that we provide our agency partners. That's really good. I think what you're seeing changing is receivables from an agency point of view. One of the biggest things that I push when I'm out talking to my agency partners, by using Pay My Premiums, you're realizing receipt of premium within 4 days for agency bill premium. I mean, if you think how long it takes to collect agency bill premium, can be what, 15, 30, 753 days, whatever it works out to be. It's an arduous process, but by using Pay My Premiums, clients going in within 24 hours and using it and paying their premium, agencies are getting paid 100% of the premium, whether it's for an installment plan. They're getting paid 100% of the premium within 4 working days. So they're realizing their commission up front. So all that hard work that they've done, that they're getting paid for. They're not having to wait for it. I think that's huge. Finally, one of the things we get from the Pay My Premiums portal is the insured's feedback. Overwhelmingly, they always say, how quick and easy it is, but also they like the fact that there's a payment option there that's free. So the ACH option is free. Credit cards are 3.5%. That's the charge our vendor applies, and we just pass it along. But for those insureds that are kind of jaded from a lot of, payment fees and transaction fees and stuff like that, we have the option to provide an ACH payment that's free. So I think, again, for agents looking to help their insureds, it's a nice touch.
Yeah, I agree. I am an integration person. I love making programs communicate and efficiencies. So I know that you all are able to integrate with platforms like AMS 360 and InsureLink. How have those integrations really enhanced the user experience? And that could be the experience from the agency side and also from their customer side.
Absolutely. I know our current COO has been very active in working on those integrations, and our IT team are phenomenal. The things that we're doing are very much cutting edge with what we've been able to achieve with that. For me, the hugest thing out of all of it is that there's no need for an agent to request a premium finance quote anymore. It now becomes automatic as part of that invoicing process, which is brilliant. So if we think of the time they're saving by not having to fill out a quote request form, send it to us and forward on that option to the insured, or alternatively go online and do the quote themselves, is freeing up all that time so that they can spend that time servicing their clients, where time really should be spent. And if you're servicing your clients effectively, you're probably selling more insurance in the process. So it's definitely a huge win for agents. And then with regards to insureds, it's just really easy to use. We like to say that it's very similar to paying a doctor's bill. It's that whole ease of use thing. And I think everyone's looking for that now. Pay My Premiums is mobile and tablet friendly, so it's great for clients on the go. In fact, interestingly, last week I spoke to two separate agents. One of my good agents has a transportation agency, and he'd used it to pay for his own E&O insurance. He reached out, he's like, Chad, this is fantastic. I'm going to be using it for all my clients. Can't believe how easy it is. And then we also onboarded recently a new agency in Kansas City, and I was out with them last week going through some training. I was talking to the chief operating officer before we kicked off the meeting. He's like, I just used your Pay My Premium to pay my own premiums. It was so easy. The validation's nice, but from people in the industry that are dealing face to face with clients every day, that validation is huge. I think that speaks to what we're providing, what people really want.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've been really generous with your time, and we only have a couple minutes left. So we always like to ask, what's on the horizon? What's coming that we can be excited about? Or maybe just something technologically that you're excited about?
So I think from an AFCO Direct perspective, we're very excited about our new platform that we're rolling out to our agency partners at the end of this year. We're calling it Adept AFCO Direct Easy Premium Technology. Pay My Premiums is going to be obviously rolled into that. And part of that upgrade, currently Pay My Premiums from the insured experience has different windows that the insured clicks into. We're going to have it now as just like one big scrolling experience, very similar as if you're on, a retail vendor's payments. So that's going to be nice for the insured. And I would say Pay My Premiums and a lot of the technology we have, it's kind of like a lovely sports car. It's beautiful to look at, but you got to keep tinkering with it to keep it running fast and smooth. And so we've always got little refinements and touches that are going on in the background. That keeps us excited because we're able to add value to our agency partners and give folks what they want.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing that too. Appreciate your time. Appreciate the partnership with Pay My Premiums and all the future developments. We're really excited to see and be able to tell Catalyit members about, of course. So thanks again for your time, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully in person on the road at one of these conferences coming up soon.
Absolutely would love that. I think I might have an adult beverage with your name on it, Casey.
Ah, that sounds great. Well, I look forward to it. Awesome. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.